in the ring right now, and this ought to be a dandy. It's an expiration of time match. We've got plenty of time for action. It's a huge team of Fire and Flame with JD Costello, and they'll be going against the Nightmares, Danny Davis and Ken Wayne. Danny on the left, Ken on the right. They'll be giving away giant amount of weight, but that really didn't make any difference to them. Starting out, Danny Davis against Flame. JD up disturbing the audience here, as Flame is in there with Danny Davis.
Russell, I almost didn't recognize you for a minute. It was the best minute I ever spent in my life.
Oh, JD.
Let me tell you right now about these two little sissies in the ring with the other part of my dynasty, Fire and Flame, because we're going to effectively put them out of wrestling. They ought to be in the New York Ballet. They ought not be in professional wrestling. They ought to be tap dancing in the circus. They don't belong in professional wrestling with the real men, and the real men belong to my dynasty. Would you spray paint your hair? Would you put a star on it? They're trying to hide something, Lance Russell.
Little mistake, JD. As the speed of Danny Davis got him out of the way, and Flame caught his own partner, Fire, on the ring apron. There's a tag on Ken Wayne into the ring now. Watch what he's saying. Those words may come back to haunt him from the Nightmares.
Listen, Lance Russell, I won't take it away from the Nightmares. They exhibit great speed, but my dynasty not only exhibits speed, we're also agile. We're the strongest men in professional wrestling, and the third reason, the most important of all, Fire and Flame, Spike and Basher, the Mod Squad, have me.
I hear that, JD, and in spite of that, they've got impressive win-loss records, both of those teams. Fire and Flame against the Nightmares is Ken Wayne with a good drop kick after a whip, and Fire goes down on the mat. Danny Davis takes over once again in the center of the ring. This is an expiration of time match, and we've got a good bit of time for this team that would seem, look at here, big splashing cover, but he gets a 1 count only. They're trying to use the surprise element there to end up getting a 3 count. That's what you got to do in a lot of respects with a team of Fire and Flame. They are so big. Danny Davis, Ken Wayne, the Nightmares, pound for pound, just as tough a tag team as anywhere in the United States. Top wrist lock, and it's reversed, but not for long. It's Fire. Once again, they exchange, and there's a tag on Flame.
You know, Lance, I understand since the Nightmares have had a confrontation with my Mod Squad and also now with Fire and Flame, they've had many nights that they couldn't go to sleep. In fact, they've had nightmares of their own since all of this has happened. I understand they wake up, they're scared to death, they break out in a cold sweat, and they've had to go to the doctor, and they've been to several doctors, and all the doctors say that they've got a certain disease, and they call it Mod Squaditis. And the only cure of that is to get into the ring, face facts. It's a day of confrontation with the Mod Squad. That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to face up to it. Every time they've attacked the Mod Squad, it's been behind our backs. Now, it takes real men, Lance Russell, to stand face to face. And that's what the Mod Squad does. And you know it, Lance.
Now, I'll remember what you said as I watch your dynasty teams in action. Right now, Ken and Danny are interested in one thing, and that's Fire and Flame. A nice drop kick on the team of Fire and Flame. Right through the ropes. They double over. Mashing the big guys down to the mat and right back in the ring. The Nightmares. A rough and tumble pair themselves. They have no hesitation whatsoever about laying it on Fire and Flame any way they can. Ken Wayne squaring off with Fire, who bangs him and stops him cold. That was so spectacular. Let's jump in here and take a look at this. After they'd gotten them out on the floor, both of them right through the rope, pound down on them. Man, oh, man. And back to the live action again. Ken being held as Flame comes in and unloads the big dukes on him. Whip into the rope, big elbow, and down goes Danny. Elbow down on him. Is this it? 1, 2. That's the thing about it, a team the size of Fire and Flame. When they get you down at any time, it could be the count of 3. Way up in the air. They threw him right up into the light.
I need to move these lights up a little bit with Fire and Flame out here.
Well, I got to say, they got him right up into the light. There's a cover. Not that easy to get a pin on the Nightmares, JD.
The Nightmares, I give them credit. They've got a lot of speed. They like to come back. You think they're down and out, and they keep on coming back. But Lance Russell, my dynasty speaks for itself.
Well, we'll see. That's what's happening now. The actions are speaking louder than words, and you can see the kind of tactics being used by Fire and Flame. Flame makes the tag on Fire. On the exchange, Ken Wayne plowed right in the midsection. Rattling the head of Ken off the top turnbuckle, followed by a big chop. And there's a tag on Flame. £580 plus of tag team and Fire and Flame. Ken is down, rolling underneath the rope. That may have saved him from a pin right at that point. JD down around. Here comes his partner, Danny Davis, over to help Ken out. As the Nightmares now on the short end of the stick with Fire and Flame.
Apparent that Ken Wayne is down and out. It's almost over with for him, Lance Russell. You can see it, and I can see it, too. You've been doing this a long time. You know when a man's down and out.
Easier said than done, JD.
Lance, why don't you take a long ball on a short pier?
Oh, you make my day, JD. All bad. And there's a kick out. They thought they had him again, and Ken kicks loose from Fire. Over near the corner. Is he going to get the tag? No, sir. Close to Danny. He got it. Here comes Danny. A lot fresher than Ken Wayne. Raked across the eyes, and out on the floor goes Danny. Fire and Flame back in the ring. We're going to stop it right here. We got some spectators that got involved. We've got, well, this last match was scheduled as a expiration of time match, but I can assure you that that match is completed. And we are not going to have Fire and Flame back here after the incident that took place out in it. JD.
Wait a minute.
Hey.
Don't you say, JD. Don't you say.
We are not going to have you wrestle on
Wait
television.
a minute. Nobody tells us who can wrestle here and who cannot wrestle here. I've got $20 million that I can buy this studio. I can buy Jerry Promotions, and I can own it. Nobody. You know how it happened down here? That fat broad got up and attacked one of them. They touched him first. We have legal rights. Nobody touches us.
We've got no right to be beaten up on somebody that came here and did it.
Wait a minute. And the bottom rule is nobody can deprive my men from making a living. And that's what they do in professional wrestling. They make a living by it, Lance Russell.
Hey, JD, I'm not saying they're deprived from making a living. They're just deprived from being here on television. They can wrestle in the arenas. They can do everything else, but they cannot wrestle here on television. We don't want them here anymore. Will you guys get out of here? Hey, we're not hit first. Will you guys get out of here?
Self-defense, Lance Russell. Hey,
well, I'm not going to make you, but by golly, I'll tell you, they've got people who can make you get out of here. They're getting in touch with...
Hey, man.
All right.
We have certain lawyers that can put this company out of business.
Well, let me tell you what, JD. Those kind of guys, when they come around and jump on somebody like that, they ought to be put out of business. All right.
Keep their hands off of me. We'll take this up.
Yeah, get them out of here.
Somebody to wrestle these two fruitcakes in the ring right now? Is that what you want? Well, you got it. The Mod Squad.
Hey, he said he's going to go get them. Well, look out! Spike and Basher. Come out here. They're not even. Boy, you got a fine bunch in the Dynasty. I'll tell you what, you really sponsor a great attitude.
Nobody tells us what to do. You got to realize that.
Nightmares. Under normal circumstances, I would love to see a match between the Nightmares and the Mod Squad. And I guess the only thing you can say here is that we'll just sit back and watch a whale of a fight. In the ring, Basher just nailed Danny while Spike, down on the floor with Ken Wayne, slams him on the studio floor. Big suplex on Danny Davis by Basher. Basher covering up. They came running out here, and he kicked out of there. Davis looked like he was all through. Referee's telling him, don't put your hands on me. They're choking Ken Wayne down on the floor. As Spike had his shirt around, Ken Wayne coming after him. Well, this brawl season right all over the place. Spike's head down into our bell as Danny Davis being rammed into a chair at ringside. Can we? Yeah, let's break this thing up. What a brawl. Nightmares, the Mod Squad, the referee stopping it. That's the only thing to do. Well, you got to find Dynasty.
You're seeing a lesson right here. You're seeing a lesson against the Nightmares from the Mod Squad. It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
You don't see them quitting, do you, JD? As Ken Wayne just nailed Spike with that chair. And a brawl goes on. He's trying to get some kind of order, not to get it started again, but just to get it all stopped. Mod Squad now with the Nightmares down, and JD just egging them on. Danny draped over the top rope, being choked. The referee goes down. Ken Wayne fights his way back with Basher as JD hanging on to Danny Davis. This match long ago was over with. It all happened when, well, let's wait a minute. Nightmares and the Mod Squad, and they're screaming at the referee. So there's a confrontation between the Nightmares and the Mod Squad. I want to recap. Hey, let's get everybody out till cooler heads prevail. JD.
Triple I know better than anybody else. There's a time and a place for this. This needs to be settled in the arenas, not right here today.
You got that
Everybody
right.
needs to cool down.
That's right.
Get their heads together, because those boys right there, you aren't going to see them a week from now. You aren't going to see them because they're not going to be around here.
You're right about cooling down. Everybody is fired up and hot and all of that. Okay, a little excitement we had today. We don't need any more of that next week, but we'll have plenty of action. You can bet your life on that. We'll be looking forward, hoping